Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a video on self-care, health, why I don't give a fuck about it, and why you should give a fuck about it. Now, there's not many people who know me personally because I don't like to be known personally. I like to keep my life very quiet, where nobody really knows what the fuck I do, because it's just easier that way. I don't need people asking me questions. I don't need people knowing anything about me, but I'll get to that on another video on why you should never tell anybody anything. For now, it's health. Right? People who know me well, they will confirm that my sleep cycle does not exist. All of you guys out there have a circadian rhythm. I have never found the circadian rhythm. Right now, it is 8:20 in the morning, 8:20 in the morning, yes? And it's not because I woke up early, I still haven't gone to bed. Now you may ask, but what's your rhythm? How have you optimized it? Or have you optimized it? Or how do you function? There's 3 points on this. Firstly, I will be awake if I need to work, and I will sleep if I don't. If I need to wake up for meetings, I will wake up. If I need to wake up to do work, I will wake up and do work. If I'm tired but I need to finish my work, won't care about my sleep. I'll have a Red Bull or something to stay awake, and I'll keep working. Now, granted, when I say something, I don't mean extracurricular activities like a coffee or whatever it may be, but I do prefer Red Bull. Now, why do I do this way? Because I realize that it's a mindset shift, it's a paradigm shift. So many people get this wrong. So many people think, that work is difficult. Fundamentally, it's not that difficult. You just believe it is difficult. So many people think it's hard to do something, hard to write an essay, hard to finish this SOP, hard to do this work for a client, when it's not actually that difficult. Now, granted, if you haven't done it before, cool, you need brain power. But on the basis that it's just general work that you need to know how to do, you need to learn and fully comprehend and tell yourself that it's not that difficult. It does not require your full capacity of thinking. If you've been doing work, sit down and ask yourself, does this work require a fully active brain? Like, do I really need to struggle and think and question? You don't. 99% of the times, you don't. You can literally just turn off your brain and work. You don't even need a full functioning brain to work. Now, granted, I will agree that lack of sleep, you may make a mistake or two, and it may not be as efficient or done as quick. But then you must ask, does this work require a fully functioning brain? On the basis that it doesn't, you can do the work. And many people don't realize how simple the work is, and they tell themselves it's a lot of work, more often because the outcome is so valuable to them that they overextend the conceptualization of the complexity of the work. Too many words for a simple thing to say, but they overshoot how much the work is because of the outcome, and they attach and it's stressful or it matters, when it actually doesn't, and it's most effective to just turn off your brain. But now, the next argument is, but Ishmael, what about your health? What about longevity? What about efficiency? It's not efficient, it's not good for you. It's unhealthy. I care about A, B, C, D. The fact is, I don't. I genuinely don't. Now, if you need sleep to be important, and interesting point I'm going to bring up, so stay very interesting, that's my hook. If you really care about all these things, go for it. Focus on your blood sugar levels or BMI or MG or whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Yes? But recognize that to a great extent you're being lazy. Because everybody who's great, and I'm not even calling myself great, I'm far away from great, they push themselves to such a level that everyone else would say and will say, you're crazy. How do you do it? So on and so forth. Like, what the fuck? Who are you? They push it to such a point, and people, the masses are inspired by it. But there's negative consequences to going that far and being that great. Again, I'm not calling myself great. I don't push myself to that level, right? You guys have to understand that you have to take sacrifice in order to reach certain levels. Now, granted, if you don't want to reach the top nth point of how good you could be as an individual, not comparatively, but how good you could be as an individual, then don't worry about it. But don't lie to yourself believing that you don't need to sacrifice in order to get there. And yes, sacrificing your health is part of getting to the top. It is putting that at the number one priority over everything else. And it's acclimatizing yourself to that. Now, the next thing, as well, but then I can't be optimized, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. I drink a few glasses of water per day. Genuinely, maybe. I'll drink like a glass or maybe 2 glasses of water per day. Honestly, if you thought about it, and for those of you who didn't, I apologize. The color of my pee is very dark. Yes. I will forget to eat. Right? I will over caffeinate myself. Yes. But now, forget to eat. Throw off the balance. Lack of water. I will work in ice cold temperatures. I will work while sweating and I'll put on a jumper. Yes? Now, all of me is disagreeing as I'm doing all of this. Again, on a lack of sleep. But all I know is I am a beast when everything is not good. Yes, when all of my systems are thrown off, I'm a beast. Now, you may ask, Ishmael, why do you do this? You don't need to do it. I know I don't need to do it. But I'll give an example to why I'm doing it now. Right? Why am I suffering on purpose? Because all I know is there's my competitors or people who are against me. I've had people come out against me. And all I know is I need to be able to operate at a really high level when everything is bad, when everything is wrong, when my body system isn't working and I get dizzy or so on and so forth. Because if anyone comes against me, I know for a fact, all I need to do is slap on a good diet, have the right amount of sleep, have the right amount of nutrients, and have enough water in my system, and all of a sudden, I'm playing on easy mode when things are difficult. My body is acclimatized to easy mode when things are difficult. So when things are easy, I will play on difficult mode because I'm able to play on difficult mode. I'm allowed to play on difficult mode because it's not going to do that much damage. So I can train myself and hone myself in on difficult mode, right? Now, granted, if you do anything that requires physical labor, if you're a sportsman or an athlete, don't listen to this advice. Make it apply to you. So use common sense on that because this doesn't apply to everything, right? But when it comes to me, how my battleground, right? I make sure everything is really difficult. An example or comparative example is athletes will rugby athletes, yes, like the ones who play in like the matches and the World Cups. I don't watch sports, so I don't know. But those athletes, they will, when they have a competition, they will train at really, really high altitudes in order to lower the level of oxygen that they have available to them to train their bodies into performing when in low oxygen, and the tournaments and the actual matches are in good oxygen levels. Now, what that means is their bodies are more honed or have acclimatized to operate in bad environments. So when they go to a good environment, it's that much easier, right? Now, granted, I'm exaggerating this. If I wanted to become a professional fighter, the first thing I'm doing is extending the rounds that I'm training at by 2 minutes and how many rounds I play for, right? In order to get my lungs to be acclimatized to a much greater capacity. There's a movie, Mr. Carter, where I believe it was Mr. Carter, he was training basketball players. They were shit. The first thing he did was make them run laps. Like what's it called? There's this horrible exercise that you can do where you touch the first line, touch the next line, suicides or something like that. And that's all they trained on. And they didn't do basketball. And they questioned it and they questioned it and they questioned it. And then the first match of the season came about. And these guys were playing the whole game. After the halfway point, like the halfway of the match, the other team got tired and started to get tired. But this team, all they trained was fucking cardio, and they trained like I don't say mammoths, but they trained like gladiators just for marathon and heart and endurance. So come halfway, they're not even tired and the other team are tired. Advantage to them. Because they would put their bodies in so much stress, more than was necessary. So when the actual thing came and it wasn't as stressful, it was really easy for them. Right? Now there are certain things that don't apply to this. Example, if you're a fighter, don't get punched a lot on purpose to make it easier for you to fight, because you're just going to fuck your brain up, like genuinely. So use common sense when you do this. And don't go, like, I got a guy to do this, and he took it to extreme. For shits and giggles, he decided to stay awake for 4 days. Now granted, he did that to make another guy feel bad. So what he did is he would wake up, no, he was awake. And then he would speak to that guy that he just wanted to fuck off at nighttime. He'd be like, you going to bed now? Perfect. He would stay awake and keep working. And then he would be awake. He would call the other guy when he sees that he's awake. Then he would tell him, yeah, I've been working this whole time, so on and so forth. Right? While you were sleeping, I was working. He did that for 4 days. I needed to instruct him to go to bed. I said, no, fuck off, stop it, under instructions, go to bed. Because at that point, he's going to start hallucinating, and at that point, you're taking it too far. So don't take it too far, but understand that if you want to get to certain levels, you have to sacrifice and be prepared to sacrifice in order to hit the top, or condition yourself to be the best person who can hit the top. Yes? And now, my final point that I'll finish on, and to be honest, I kind of forgot the final point. So it was, yes. You have to understand that with all of this, take it to your own degree. Because there are people out there. Now you may say to me, Ishmael, you're extreme. This is unnecessary. Come at me. Come at me. Now when I say that, it's not come make comments. Toe for toe, let's go. Toe for toe, let's go. You won't compete. You won't touch me. Yes? Because if you operated under my conditions, you would suffer. You would not survive. Fuck no. Everything would be thrown off. And understand that I operate very well that way. And to the opposite extent, let me be healthy and look at the benefits, because the benefits are clear and the benefits are there, and I'm very aware of the benefits. I just save them up for the good days. But also recognize if it's not for you, don't worry about it. But one thing to note is depending on how far you want to go, there are percentages that come to play. Yes? If you do not work, if you work 25% less of the hours of what you could, you're 25% less likely to succeed. One small example, I don't drink, because I came to the realization that if I drank, the likelihood of me succeeding goes down by a solid percentage. Whether that's because I would be hungover, or I'd make stupid mistakes, or I'd so on and so forth, burn cash, because if I'm not sober, my brain's not thinking I may want to flex or do this or do that. So I don't drink. Now granted, there's other reasons why I don't drink. But that was one of the biggest deciding factors on me drinking, genuinely. And you have to look at what are you doing in your life that is affecting your chances of success. Whether that's not working hard enough, requiring A, B, C, D. One more point, very important to cover. I know people who are hyper biohackers, retards I call them. And the reason that they're retards, and this may be you, is for the fact that they have perfect water, amounts of water, like what? I know a twat now who drinks 5 liters, another twat who drinks 3 liters a day. They're drinking good amount of water. They're eating the right nutrients. They're doing everything perfectly. The only fucking issue is they've now conditioned their bodies to be at these levels. So if there isn't water, they can't fucking operate. If they don't have perfect sleep, they can't fucking operate. If they haven't eaten a certain way, they can't fucking operate. Biggest reason on why I don't drink water. I remember I never used to drink water. I was always wasting my time. I'd always get need to pee and stuff. Yeah, so I never really drank a lot of water. A lady convinced me otherwise. She said, back and forth, back and forth. I said, fuck, I know what the arguments. After a long time, I started drinking water. And as I was drinking water, I felt genuine improvement, genuine boost. I was like, you know what? Oh, this shit is good. And then I'm sitting in the car, and I'm just chilling. And then I feel this horrible sensation on my throat. Now, what the fuck is this? Like, genuinely a horrible sensation. Unbelievable. Yes. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was thinking, I was like, is this fucking thirst? Because I didn't really know what thirst felt like. I would assume it would feel like this. I said, guys, I described it to them. Yes? And they was like, guys, is this thirst? And they said, yes, that's thirst. And they were laughing because I just experienced thirst. And that moment, I said, fuck this. I am not drinking this much water. So firstly, I need to pee all the time, which is not time effective or situationally effective, because I kept needing to pee at random moments that were not convenient to me. And the feeling of thirst if I don't get water. Fuck that. Yes? So, take it as you wish. I genuinely do not recommend my diet, my routine, and how I work, because I know the negatives that come with it. Genuinely not healthy. But I also see the benefits. And it's important for you to see both sides. And not to say that my side is right or the other side is wrong, so on and so forth. But it's important to see both sides and to be able to see both sides and understand the different options and the benefit of the different options, right? Many people, and this may be you, it may not be. Many people would say to me, Ishmael, you're not doing the right thing because of X, Y, Z, A, B, C. You know, you're not hyper performing. If I'm not at hyper performance stages and I'm not hyper performing, but I've trained myself and I can outdo you, you're fucked. You're shit, because you're at hyper performance levels. Yes. Don't be ignorant. Don't be stupid. Be healthy. That's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in another video.